Ooh, hello, hello, hello. Good evening. I don't know what I did, but I suddenly hit the button and realized that I don't have my headphones in. So that's super fun. I apologize, therefore, if there is a weird echo. As soon as Felicia hops on, I will run and find my headphones, which ended up, I think, inside, and I forgot. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. What a way, of course, to end in season. Welcome to season 11, episode 30. This is our season 11 finale. I can't believe we're at this point already. We've been doing this for more than 10 years, and we are still your Wednesday night conversation. I'm Freddy Prinze Charming without his fucking headphones because I'm an idiot and I was busy today and my day was thrown off. So I have no excuse. I'm so sorry. Felicia should be joining us shortly. I know we've both been busy with work, so muggle jobs are a thing, you know. Don't forget that you can get exclusive content on our Patreon. It's patreon.com/let's have a Fefe. And during our break during the summer, we are going to be looking into some fun extras, some other little things that we're going to throw on there that will just be exclusively for our patrons. And don't forget, the higher the tier, the more you get to see. So do the thing. I mean, you can join for as little as $1, but you'll see more stuff if you have at least 5 or more. We like that. We would like to thank our current patrons: Brandon, Chris and Michelle, D, Drake Jensen, Casey Starr, Carrie and Corey, Kim, Joan, Leanne, Nicole, and Shannon. We try to put things out as often as we can. Life and muggle jobs and things get in the way, so we get behind, but it's not on purpose, I promise, and we try to make it up as we can. Of course, special thanks to our sponsors this season: Success Boutique, LC Designs, and Wigs of a Kind. This is not a Wigs of a Kind wig. This is some fabulous yarn thing that I found. You're welcome. Yeah, definitely not a Wigs of a Kind wig. But they have been amazing sponsors this season. And you too can either tip us or sponsor us if you go to paypal.me/let's have a Fefe. And if Felicia decides to keep up with it, you can text LHAF to 602-730-7379. And Felicia will send you, I don't know, like show updates or something. I don't know what she sends. But she sends something. Also, if you are on the Facebook and you click the stars button over at the bottom of the page, you can send us stars, which gets us a few bucks. I mean, I'm sure it gets Facebook a few bucks too, but you know, it's fine. It is what it is. And apparently Felicia is having technical issues because of course she is. It's the season finale, so why wouldn't she? I don't have my headphones. Felicia's having technical issues. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe, because this is how we roll. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. As far as what I've been up to the last week, I've been up to much, really. There's been virtual rehearsals and a lot of prep for Phoenix Fan Fusion right now. Our house looks like Michael's exploded all over it. So that's fun. But it's one of those things where, you know, you have an outfit or a cosplay or costume or whatever it is, and you're like, oh, this will be fun, this will be cute, I'm gonna have this little accessory, and then you start making more accessories and then more accessories and then more accessories. Oh, DJ Image, that's awesome. It'll be fun. Are you going all weekend? Are you just going for one day? I always recommend going for the entire weekend if you can, because there's so much to see and so many panels and so much there's just so much. Like going one day doesn't really work that well. There's just so much. I highly recommend going all weekend, and don't forget the drag show and the burlesque show are happening on Friday night, and you get automatic entry to that with your con tickets. So you know that's why you need to go all the days, because drag and burlesque and all the things. And Holly, what the hell, what do you mean you're gonna be out of town? What? Where do you go? You don't go. No, there's no going out of town on con weekend. That's a bunch of horse shit. What the hell? Uh, so and there are still some front of house tickets available for the drag show, as Guido mentioned. Basically, so you get general admission with your con pass, and then if you want to like get up front and personal, is a little bit extra, and then you get good seats. There'll also be a merch table, and our entertainers will have merch and all sorts of fun things there. So there's gonna be some different things happening with the drag show this year, and I'm kind of excited about it. Hopefully everything turns out. Fingers crossed, it'll be fine. Monster Palooza. What the hell is Monster Palooza the same weekend as our con? I feel like that is just poor planning. But whatever. It's fine. So I don't know. Those of you that are I'm gonna chat about this for a minute since Felicia's not here, and I can because I still don't have headphones, and Felicia's not here, so it's fine. No, I'm saying that a lot this episode, and it's all right. So for those of you that are that are friends with me on Facebook would have seen my post yesterday about how kings are always still being told to step up. We expect more. Prove yourself. Blah 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 blah. Kings are boring. Kings don't put in the effort. And yet, oh yes, Guido, please put that link in the chat. Absolutely. But in the years that I have been producing shows, and mind you, when I do produce shows, and this has been like a thing, I don't generally do like the smaller bar shows. Oh, hang on, I think Felicia's on. Hey girl, hey.
Hello.
I was just gonna start talking about something that had to do with my post the other evening.
Oh.
So, and then I'm gonna
As
leave
the queen shows up late, but today was not my fault. I feel like it was the continuation of last week.
That's right. I don't have my headphones in, so I need to go get those in a second. Actually, you know what? Tell people about your weekend, and I'm gonna go do that so I can make sure there's no weird weekend echo or anything like that. So talk really slowly, though.
I am Felicia Minor, and you did housekeeping? You did all the housekeeping? Okay, wonderful. Let's see. Hi, everybody. Let's see. This is a season finale. I am so excited. So what happened was I had it all set up and ready to go, but then my computer decided that it didn't want to go forward into any of the interwebs at all. So we had to do a quick restart. Anyhow, let's see. This weekend, I was home all weekend, which was unusual because usually, I like to keep a little calendar. So we stayed home. We did some errands. Of course, getting ready for next week. Phoenix Fan Fusion. And then, my goodness, I don't, I don't want to be like a lame duck or nothing, but I definitely did not do anything, and it was much needed. Because I have some little health things going on right now. So Hopefully those get better and out of the way, and I can resume life as usual. But the word from the good doctor is that I should be installing brakes in my life. So, as we tell you on this show that you should take mental breaks, I think that we ourselves need reminders for mental breaks. I was just telling them that I didn't really do anything this weekend, but that was okay. Um,
Okay, sorry. I'm like,
especially,
I started the show, did all the housekeeping, right? I went to start the show, and I'm like, why is the sound coming out of my laptop? What the fuck? And then realized that I didn't have my headphones. I was like, oh shit.
it just wouldn't be a show without us.
I was like, it's the season finale. I would expect nothing less. It's
It's okay.
fine.
But anyhow, I didn't really do anything this weekend. Um, Much needed, especially since I'm dealing with little tiny health issues. But um,
Is it your butt?
no, not my butt. It's
No.
my front.
Oh, that's
Yeah. Mm.
okay. So anyway, what I what I was gonna talk about before I had to go find my stupid headphones.
I like this
Um,
costume. Let me see this.
these it's actually it's this isn't what I was wearing for the pictures because I couldn't sit down in it,
Oh, oh.
but it's ragged. It's basically
Yes,
ragged.
my front butt.
So what I was going to talk about
Uh
is
huh.
the everybody saw my I guess I'm assuming that people saw my post on Facebook about how kings are always told that they need to prove themselves, step up, blah blah blah, but queens always just get a pass, whatever.
Uh
And
huh.
it drives me crazy because it's like I don't know if it's a misogyny issue. I don't know if queens are just used to people just giving them a pass and just ignoring the fact that they don't do the shit that they're supposed to do,
Hmm.
that they just don't seem to care. And it bugs the hell out of me. It's like, and so when I produce shows, which mind you, I don't produce as many shows as I used to, obviously, but when I do, and even when I did produce regularly, they were bigger shows. Like they weren't
Hmm.
your sort of weekly bar show, right?
Yeah.
So because they were bigger shows, it's there are expectations. Music has to be in by a certain time. There are deadlines for other, you know what I mean? There's deadlines for things, right?
Hmm.
And it's like 9 times out of 10, and mind you, this is not saying that all kings are don't have, are on the ball, because some of them definitely are not. But out of like out of all the shows that I've ever produced, the kings always have their music to me early. They have their shit together. They have like, here's all these ideas for things, and here's all this stuff, and here's all these, and then the queens, it's like pulling teeth. It's like dealing with fucking toddlers. And it's like
In tears.
I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, how hard is it if it's like, okay, well, you need to get this to me by this date?
Hmm.
I don't think it's that hard. Also, like, if we say, and if you're gonna give me some bullshit excuse, I'm like, look, come on. Like, no. Like, like,
I
if
think did we talk about this last week a little bit? Like I feel like from week to week shows, maybe,
right,
maybe.
right.
But when big events are going on, um, it's kind of hard for um you. I'm not speaking for nobody else except for me. But um, for me, I always want to come up with something new, but there's that inner sabotage that happens. But I instead of turning in something late this year, I just said, I feel like I can't. I mean, because maybe that's the thing. Maybe people are trying to, or there are some people that, and we know who they are, especially in our neck of the woods, that
Mm.
do get a free pass for everything, and
Mm-hmm. Oh
so
yeah.
um, oh, I'll just show up and give you the music when I get
Right.
there.
It's like,
And they
no,
have
that's not
that.
gonna work.
And
But it's like
so,
it drives me crazy, and it's bullshit, and it's unfair. And then like people think that queens seem to think that, okay, well, here are these guidelines or limitations for whatever it is. Say the show is like 90s themed or something, right? It's like, all right, so it's a 90s theme, music needs to be 5 minutes, and it needs to be like 90s pop, right? Like, say
mhm,
that's what the parameters are with the show, right? So instead, what they do is, number one, they give you music late. Number two, they hand you something that's about 8 minutes long. And number three, it's like 80s hair band.
mhm.
And then when you're like, no, that's not going to work. You need to give me what I asked for, or you're not going to be in the show. Then they get all mad and they get all angry. And it's like, so you're going to get mad when people try to hold you accountable for shit. Like, okay, I
Mhm.
get it. I get it. It's just,
But but also that goes with that if you've never been held accountable before,
right,
then
right.
are you gonna
There was a
you're gonna
there was a,
you're
a
definitely gonna feel that
quote.
boundary.
There was a quote in a show that I was watching earlier, and I wish I had remembered what the quote was, because it was something like, uh, something to do with accountability is something like, accountability is easy until you're actually asked to be held accountable, or unless you're actually being held
Mhm,
accountable for something. Like, it's something like that. It was a fantastic quote. I need to dig it up again and see if I can find it again, because it was such a good quote. And I'm just like, like, it's just frustrating. And people know at this point, and I'm like, I don't have a problem being that asshole. I'm like, I have no problem being like, no, this isn't what I asked for. You
mhm.
don't get to just not follow the rules. So fix it, or don't be in the show. Don't care. Or, you didn't get this to me on time. That is not my problem. Tough shit. I don't care. Like, like,
And Guido, I have been one of those people that you've chased down, so I'm not gonna. um, but um,
it's just annoying. I don't know. And I think it's more so because you have queens that still look at kings like we're less than, like we don't put in the effort. I'm like, I put on a decent face almost every week, and I
so
change it up
we have
every
both
week.
been on this journey for a while, and
Mm.
I would say that time management has gotten better for me over the years, but still, well, I have an ever-changing environment that that challenges my skill of time limitation. Anyway, but I will say that I try to be more abreast of things instead of like waiting until I feel like I have the panic button on,
Right.
because part of my uh, self work has been because procrastination, just put the elephant out there, is part of my protection to not self sabotage, or you know like mm, like you're overthinking, the anxiety
Right.
takes over, you don't know what you're going to pick your music for, you don't know what if the audience doesn't like it, I don't know what the audience is like. And me personally, that's a thing that happens.
See, and
um
my problem is I have like too many ideas and not enough resources or time or me. I'm like, if I could clone
well,
myself, I could do an entire show with just me.
and also there was a little bit where I had that little battle of like, can I be campy and can I be like the little
Mhm.
pretty queen? And there was like this inner battle, like now I just do what I feel, and if y'all don't like it, then just don't tip
Right.
me and I can do this on my own.
Right.
Um but it is weird. There are some people that will be on top of things and be like, okay, so now what?
Right.
Now what? Now what?
Yeah.
But I can't speak for all queens in the society, but I do think that everybody. can do better. And I've worked on myself because I am always late. And that's not
Correct.
um mhm.
You've gotten better. I mean, you're not always late now. You're just mostly late.
Well, it got to a point where people like expected it, so it kind of got irritating. So yeah, that. And when people go, "Oh, you're on time," yeah, that started to become a
Mm.
like a. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
starting to have your reputation there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Maybe next year we'll get you on time for the show that you actually like live at the house that
Well,
you
maybe.
don't have to
Well,
travel.
the baby will be 1 next year, so we'll see how that works.
Mm. So she should be out getting a
So
job at this point. Jesus.
they all should.
Right.
Um, but I say we all can do better. I have thought in the last couple weeks that we all could do better. I have thought that our community is having challenges from the outside always, including. Did you put that in there? If we're not, we'll talk about it because that's on my mind. Um,
I put a few things in there.
And then we're battling each other from the inside. And I feel like at this point, I don't know. I don't know who's right, who's wrong, but
I mean,
we could always
I've
do
gotten to the
better.
point now with the folks that are, that either
But it's
try
almost
to
like
like,
children. Stop rewarding bad behavior.
and that's what I keep saying. Like, don't tip the fucking queen that goes out there and doesn't know her fucking words and all that shit. Like, stop doing that. Stop going yes when they go out in no costume and don't know the words. Eh, but I there are the people that every time I see someone like badmouth kings or whatever, or like I've got to the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove you because I have no desire. I have no desire to work with you. I don't need to be on your feet. Like I'm good. So I'm like, I'm just gonna back him. So, but I don't know. It's interesting, and the fact that you see these from people that you see this kind of behavior and these kind of habits from people that are supposed to be like role models within the community. I'm like, what are you role modeling? What are you modeling? What are you teaching people? But
I teach
whatever.
all
Not.
kinds of stuff. What do you want to learn? Yes, I love
Mm-hmm.
kings. I've loved kings from the beginning, so
This is true. Felicia has always been a huge supporter of the Kings, like massive, which is
giving up a show night
awesome.
is not easy.
Like Felicia was supporting Kings when supporting Kings wasn't a thing.
They're like, "Oh, you're
Like,
having a king show? Why?
right.
Why
Like,
not? What's
yeah.
your problem?"
So Felicia's always been on our corner, which is fantastic. So anyway, like this, I figured this episode's gonna be a little weird because it's our
This is welcome to the hodgepodge
right. It's our season
season
finale, and it's already
finale.
off to a great start.
We forgot our
Um,
technical things. We forgot everything. It's
all the
fine.
things. So happy pansexual and panromantic visibility and awareness day. For those
Yes.
of you that don't know, I do identify as pansexual. What that means to me is that I can be attracted to people of all genders and gender expressions. It has no bearing on like
Binary.
dateability or whatever. It does not mean, however, that I am attracted to everyone. It simply
Ooh.
means that gender isn't a factor when it comes to romantic or physical attraction.
Well,
That being
being gay doesn't
said,
mean you're attracted to everybody either.
mm, but everybody, when you tell somebody you're like pansexual, they're like, "Oh
So,
my
what's your
god!"
name?
Like you miss. Then you have so many options. I'm like, but do I? Um, uh, yeah. So, but that being said, I still have to actually be attracted to someone to want to be with them, regardless of identity. And like when you're like swiping through like dating apps or whatever, and you see people and you're like, oh no, like, oh look, you're bisexual or you're pansexual. It's like, that's fantastic, but no thank you. And you just, you know what I mean? So it's not like I'm,
Mm.
yeah, it's like and the whole like having so many options, that's not entirely accurate, because you
So if we have somebody that doesn't know, because I've seen this question online before.
Mm.
Um, how do you know if you're pansexual or just bisexual?
So some folks are using the two sort of interchangeably.
Mm-hmm.
um I still think there's a little bit of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
For and again, this is something that can kind of differ depending on who you ask. But for me, bisexual indicates that you are attracted to two or more genders. It can be any two genders, doesn't matter what they are, but two or more genders. You usually
Mm-hmm.
have more of like a definitive, like, I'm attracted to, men and women.
Mm-hmm.
It could be trans men and trans women. It could be, cis men and trans women, whatever it is. But it's usually like you have a fairly definitive, I like this and I like this.
Oh.
Whereas for me anyway, like when it comes to, because pan indicates all,
Mm-hmm.
whereas bi indicates two. So with bi, that's why I say two or more, but pan is all, which for me just means that it really doesn't matter how you identify, doesn't matter, um if this person is non-binary but transmasculine, or if this person is um agender or whatever. That has zero bearing. And
Mm-hmm.
people say, sometimes people say like hearts not parts, but I think that's weird.
Oof.
I
You
hate that
date
term.
Frankenstein?
Right, like, it's just that term sounds really bizarre, because just for
Mm.
me, because it's like sometimes parts kind of have something to do with it, like, not exclusively, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's like, oh, I find myself, super sexually attracted to, this cisgender man over here, because
What
I
term
think
sounds
that,
serial killerish?
right. I'm like, he's sexy naked, and you know what I mean? So it's like,
What
it's like,
terms is serial killerish?
I'm thinking hearts not parts.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Like, I understand what people mean when they say that, but I'm not a fan of it myself. Just, but
Mm.
it just means that I can be attracted to people of all genders, gender expressions, whatever. That has nothing to do with what makes me attracted to somebody. Like, there could be two non-binary individuals that are both, say, femme presenting, in front of me, but this one over here I'm more attracted to than this one, because of whatever, as far as physical features and whatever. It has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with anything. So, but I'm, as far as having more options, though, I call
Mm.
bullshit. It just means that there's more people for me to swipe left on.
Oh my goodness. Those poor
So,
people.
yeah.
They don't even get a chance to know you.
Some of them, we've talked about this. Like, some of these, I'm like, looking at this, I'm like, that is the best picture you could come up with for this app. Like, it's like this way, or it's like this close and blurry. I'm like, okay, look, I understand that your phone is from 1997, but can you find somebody with a better phone to take a better picture? Like,
Is it like, because sometimes on Facebook I see like people taking pictures like from the chest up. I'm like,
mm,
how does this work? Like, how am I supposed to know what you really look like if all I see is like your chest in the camera and then I see your face like kind of hidden? Like, what do you
right,
look
and
like?
that's right. That's the other thing. It's like, and I will immediately swipe left if your main profile picture is you in a fucking gym.
Oh, Okay, I'll update my profile.
And I'm like,
I'm
no,
just kidding. I don't go to the gym,
no.
nor do I have a profile.
I'm like,
Um,
like it's just like that's an immediate turn off. I'm like, oh, that's okay. So you need to let
why?
everybody know that you're a
What if
gym
it's
rat
one of
because
their pictures?
if it's their main picture, no,
Then
don't
I'm the
care.
type.
No, because
But
I'm
you're
not
okay if
going
they do go
like
to the gym.
right. I don't care if you go to the gym, but that being your main profile picture says to me that
But it's their
I'm super
lifestyle.
focused. Like I work out 8 times a week. I'm like, no, we're not doing this. Goodbye.
Oh
Nope.
my
I
gosh,
like my
sorry.
carbs. I like my sugar. Like I like these things. I'm
He
like,
sure does. There is
no.
no doubting it. Do you both look at the dating apps being in relationships?
I'm in a poly relationship, so
I
yes.
am not.
My partner is also on various dating apps, so it's absolutely fine. Not that I have any luck with the dating apps because I find most of my life spent left. But the
It's like
option is
playing
there. Being
solitaire
poly,
with
we
no
have
entertainment.
the ability to be able to explore connections if a connection were to appear out of nowhere. Because I think that's kind of what's going to happen at this point. So yeah, and
My goodness.
I'm just waiting for something I don't know, like a mermaid or something to pop out of my pool.
Oh, I can't
Like,
wait. Anybody going to see The
oh,
Little
Little Mermaid
Mermaid?
comes out tomorrow, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh.
We're so busy. I don't. Mm, mm. I heard you should buy tickets before you go. So.
I'm probably just gonna wait till it comes out on Disney Plus.
Oh, really?
I don't have
Really?
time to go see movies. I have
Me
too much
either,
other
but I really
shit
want to see
happening.
I really want to see
Anyway, so we wanted to kind of talk about some of I don't know some of the like season 11 highlights that we kind of had. Did you have any that like anything that stood out for you this season, Felicia?
We had fun with not a choir, Christine Vibrant. Um,
Yeah, she was a
who
good
else?
guest. She
Who
definitely
else
was a
did we
good
have
guest.
fun with? And not to say that
Um,
all the guests weren't fun.
I thought Lee Call
Um,
was great. They were fantastic.
yeah, they were, and they still owe us something.
Oh
I
yeah, you need to get on that.
um, too many movie apps to go to a theater. Oh, we'll talk,
Oh,
Laura, because if I could watch it at home, I will. Uh,
so that speaking of which, I found out that I have Apple TV
oh, you
um
do?
for free through T-Mobile.
Yeah,
So we have been discovering all these shows on Apple TV, and if you're a
like
fan
Ted
of
Lasso.
musicals, we just started watching that one.
Oh
But
my
if you're a
god,
fan
you're
of
watching my favorite
musicals,
show. You're watching my favorite
go
show.
watch Schmigadoon if you're a fan of
Yeah.
musicals. There's 2 seasons. We binged it in like 2 days.
Oh, damn.
But I'm like sitting there and
Also,
I'm like, is it bad that I can tell you what musicals these are like right off the like every time they start a number, I'm like, oh, this is this musical, this is this musical, this is this musical, this is this musical,
well,
this is this
I know
musical.
you well enough that that's not a surprise for me.
Yeah.
Um, Also, I like Central Park on
That's a
Apple
good one too.
TV.
We're watching that one too. It cracks me up that like half the cast of Hamilton is
Isn't
in
it?
that show
Mm-hmm.
and that Stanley Tucci plays a crotchety old woman.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Um, who else? Gosh, they were just right there on the tip of
I
my
enjoyed
tongue.
having Brandon as a co-host as opposed to just like a
Yeah,
guest
I
while
wasn't
you were on
here.
your break. Like I thought Brandon was a great co-host. I knew that they would be that's because they really know like the whole kind of swing of things, but that was good. Another
If
highlight for
they
me
didn't, I
was
would be very disappointed because
right.
they have been here several times. Them and
Right.
Patricia.
Right. I think another cool thing for me was this season, finally, having the drag cave set up and to be able to have guests again, like in
Hmm.
studio as opposed to just virtually. Because like virtually is fine, especially if they're like out of state or whatever. But it's always nice to be able to have somebody in studio. So that was cool.
Nobody will fit in here, I don't think. Even if you decided to come over here, I need to make room. Um, but just fair warning. What I will say is, I think interpersonally, I created this goal of that we would promote the podcast more. And we hit 10,000 or more. Let me check that number right now. This season, I think most of the listens or downloads came from this season, if I'm not mistaken. They changed stuff around, and I don't
I think
like it.
it had to have been, because I know like all of a sudden like the number like grew exponentially.
Yeah, and so I'm like, yes, let's do this. And they changed stuff around, so I can't like get to it easily anymore. But
I think it
anyhow,
might be.
um it's definitely been kind of like that thing. Like, I hope that we can achieve bigger things next year. I mean, we're barely hanging on right now, but uh whereas before, where I kind of was like, where are we going with this? Kind of, it wasn't like that's the thing that I chase. I don't chase numbers when it comes to this, because Lord knows I do that all day
I
long.
don't
And
I don't think it's about that. I think that, and I think kind of the pandemic kind of showed us that like while we don't necessarily, have huge numbers while we're alive, like people
mhm,
like either watching on the
they
replay
really like
or
us.
listening on the podcast, or and like, and if we're not doing this, like when we take our breaks, we have people within like 2 weeks, people are like, when are you coming back?
Yeah.
So
Um,
like
we're at
obviously
10.8, almost at
10.8,
11.
I'll take it. Like, I'm not mad about it. And the fact that people miss us when we're not here, and that people are kind of like, they work us into their routine, either on Wednesdays or, after,
Or
like,
watch us on Fridays. Shout out to Jeremy and Ripple
right.
Phoenix getting their own space.
I know, I saw that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's like that for me is why I think we keep doing this. Like, it's one of those things where, like, it's not okay. The numbers would be great. It'd be great if we like, made some actual fucking money, but also I
Hmm.
like that random people that like those people that we come across where they're like, oh yeah, no, totally, let's have a Fefe, like we've watched it before, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like,
I had
oh,
no idea you knew that any, like, so
I had no
you know
idea you knew I existed
right.
at all.
Right.
Yeah, I watch it every week. Oh,
It's like,
okay.
okay, thank you.
Hey. Hmm.
Like, and I'm still thankful for the other doors that this show has opened over the years for different
Absolutely.
things.
Including sex trivia, which will go on when we're on hiatus.
Yep.
Make sure you follow us on all the socials to stay tuned with that. I will say that also, that I love that other things have popped up for you and I. Um, and I don't know what's next, but we have a lot of planning to do, which I don't know where it fits, because your summer's already fucking busy. My
I
goodness.
mean, not really. I'm just out of town for a couple of weeks because I mean,
I'm just kidding.
but I'm excited because I am booked in a brunch in Chicago. So
Oh,
I
that's
like,
wonderful.
brunch isn't usually my gig, but I'm excited to go do this. Like, it'll be cool. I'm bummed though because it's Muffy Fish Basket's brunch, but
But she's not gonna be there.
Muffy's actually going to be out of town, so it's going to be hosted by Ukulele, which
I don't think I've met
Ukulele.
them. Have I?
Um, I don't know that you have, but they're a part of Drag Story Hour. I think they might
Oh.
actually be one of our new board members.
Oh.
Yeah,
That would help if I actually went to a meeting.
probably.
Um, but
I think I
that's
was out of town for the last
wonderful.
one, but yeah. So I'm excited, and we've got plans to go run around and do some like museums and like Navy Pier and lots of eating. And, Chicago has some of the, best fucking restaurants. So I'm in the hunt to try and find some like little mom and pop shops and, Chinatown, see if I can find some good dumplings or something. And, go to like
Do they have ramen in Chicago?
oh yeah. They absolutely have ramen in Chicago.
Okay.
Whether it can measure up to Austin has yet to be
That was
seen,
going to
but
be
we
my
will
next
find out.
question.
We may be able to find that out. We'll be there all of Saturday. So Saturday's going to be like the busy day where we're going to be running around doing a bunch of stuff. And then Sunday is, brunch in the morning. And then we'll have the rest of Sunday to,
Scavenger
kick
hunt.
around and do stuff. So it'll be
Mhm.
fun. It'll be fun. And then
Oh,
I'm doing other shit with my hoarder of a father, which is why I'm driving out there.
fun times.
Mm.
I feel lucky that I'm a hoarder too, and my kids will go through all my drag. I also think that this was the year that I set personal goals to branch out, because Lord knows I am a stick to your routine girl. So I've done podcast appearances, which I was so the first couple I was really afraid, really afraid. I don't know what of, but um, maybe it's like the saying the wrong thing kind of
Mm.
deal. Do I sound stupid? And then I actually listen to myself back, and I'm like, eh, eh, she's all right. She's all right. She's good. She's good. Yeah. Um, I don't know. This season went by really quick. Life changed for me too. So we got a new glam baby, and that
Oh,
really.
not as important as a glam baby, but we got a tortoise. Does that count?
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know
I
you had a
forgot.
tortoise.
We got a tortoise. Their name is Dax. It's itty bitty. It's about this big now, but in a few
Oh
years it'll
wow.
be like this big.
And the backyard will be taken over by a tortoise. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, and you'll have to build it a shelter. I
Mm-hmm.
can't wait until the
Yep.
day.
It's gonna be a while yet before that happens because it's too little to be out of its box right now.
Okay, so put it on the books that you'll need to hire somebody to dig you a little shelter, because we don't know how
Or
much
we can
longer
just potty
you
train
can
it
be.
and make it an inside tortoise. There's a tortoise on like TikTok named Ethel who's an inside tortoise, and she puts herself to bed and then asks for baths.
Uh, huh. Okay. Okay. All right. Mm. All right. Knock me off course here. Uh, I don't have a tortoise that I'm providing shelter for, but I am providing shelter for a clam baby.
I feel like a
So
tortoise is easier.
it is. And it doesn't wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so, yeah. Yeah, just I feel like I think, okay, so I have on my conscience that I wanted to say this. So usually I like am not the one to let go of control of things. And so this year has been a challenge. This season has been a challenge for me. It's like a personal growth year. For me, letting go. And for me to say that is a very big deal for me. Like I'm getting chills right now. Um, so we got the update in equipment because of y'all, right? And that's what made me so mad trying to get on today. I was like, this is brand new. Anyway, uh, but then, so since Freddy doesn't have that slow computer anymore, he said, well, let me take over and I will. I was like, I mean, after what, 10 years, I'm like, what? Mm.
I know. I can actually
Ugh.
like not I can push buttons and I can like run the show. I can create like the shows now. I
Yeah,
did
and
all that shit by myself when Felicia was on her break, with the exception of one when I forgot to do it.
uh,
Oops.
but I am grateful because even behind the scenes, um, he has done the show sheet, especially on days when I'm like dealing with temper tantrums and crying babies and so there's a lot behind the scenes, and I don't mind talking about it on our Patreon, about more things that happen behind the scenes, because he was the reason why a lot of this happened this season, and that tenfold, because if I had held on, it may not have been.
It would have been a hot mess. I think there would have been all sorts of issues.
Yeah, I would have started falling apart. And yeah. Speaking of falling apart, I was falling apart earlier because one of our legends has passed, and I'm talking about the legendary Tina Turner has passed away at 83.
I know.
I
I was shocked when I heard that. I was like, "Wait, what?" But also, did you watch the her documentary on HBO?
no.
You should. It's fantastic, and it's a documentary. It's almost it's I think it's autobiographical. So she tells her story through her own words,
Oh,
and I remember actually saying when I was watching it, I was like, "This seems like one of
oh,
those
is it
projects
one
that
that
it's like
came
I
out
want it."
recently?
It was like a couple years ago.
Uh huh.
It was like I think 20 late 2020, early 2021.
Oh, so maybe she's been
I think she knew.
steadily creeping away.
I think she knew. She's had all sorts of health problems and things, but
Hmm.
I think she knew that I think the end was coming close, because if you watch the documentary, it almost seems like she wanted to leave something for people. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I said, it's very autobiographical. So it in a way it felt like I want to leave this for people to know who I am.
Hmm.
And that's just kind of the I don't know, it was like watching it, I even said out loud at the time, I said, is she dying? Is she sick? Because that's what it felt like. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
it was like a goodbye letter,
But
kind of,
also, a lot of
almost.
celebrities, um, especially if she felt like her health was declining, a
Right.
lot of celebrities do like their memoirs, their
Mm-hmm.
hot takes
Mm-hmm.
really quickly because they're like, well, I don't know how much longer I could stand up, so we're doing this. Um,
Like the Val Kilmer documentary that came out, as he like lost his voice, and like they're
mhm.
right, like yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
sometimes that's their last expression. Yes, I'm not doubting that 83 is not a long life. I'm just saying that I th- I'm just sad because I can fucking be sad. It can be sad. And plus, like that's like a huge thing in our community. Like people get the wigs that she's known for,
Mm-hmm.
and the outfits, and you want to throw a party, that there's a Tina song in there. But yeah, it's a sad day. Um, but yeah, remember her, and I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of Tina Turner in the bars now. So.
Oh Jesus Lord.
uh,
Uh so speaking of a sad day, DeSantis has officially declared his bid for president in 2024.
You're joking, right?
Nope. Not only am I not joking, but it's been reported that he's got Elon Musk slated as his running mate. Sounds like a fucking
Oh.
hot mess.
So again, y'all, if you are serious, you better get to the voting polls.
Do not, I
Don't be
swear to
fucking
fucking
around this
God,
time.
don't fucking assume that, oh, it's just, he's got fucking Elon Musk. We've already shown
I gauge.
that the improbable is probable and possible and happening. So let's not make the same fucking mistake. Okay?
Hmm.
Please? Can we not do this again? Please? If we yes, the DeSantis announcement on Twitter was glitchy. It crashed everything. He was more than half an hour late actually starting the thing. I feel like that's like foreshadowing. Like I feel like that's what
You're right.
his whole like dictatorship would be.
Glitchy.
Mm, crashing and a hot fucking
Oh.
mess. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, speaking of which,
Uh,
DeSantis is still fighting with Disney, and he's not doing so well with that. So I hope that Disney just kind of keeps jabbing at him,
mm-hmm.
including they're thinking about building even more. And so it would be lovely that since they decided not to build anymore in Florida, that they build somewhere else where he feels like he has more control or whatever, or where he's like, they shouldn't get it. You know, it's fun, you know? Anyway, let's see. A school district in Florida, of course, Florida. Hey, Florida, with this stupid
Shout out to
governor.
Florida for providing most of our news like this season and the last, I don't know, 11 seasons.
Yeah, I haven't done Fifi offbeat in a while, but that used to be my thing. I would be like,
You
I
also,
need,
I feel like you almost don't have to.
yeah, they just come to me. Anyway, has restricted Amanda Gorman's inauguration poem, really, because a parent said it contained hate messages.
Oh no, keep going.
Oh my God. The same parent made complaints about Love to Langston, a poetry based biography of Langston Hughes, and the ABC's of Black History. Oh my gosh. Tell me you're a racist without telling me you're a racist. And go. Thanks to Fuckhead who's running um, Florida and Orange Man and all people like him, including Marco Rubio or whatever the fuck his name is, they can go fuck themselves.
Isn't Marco Rubio one of ours?
Is he? No. He's one of the people that's causing Target to do the ew.
Are you sure?
I think so. I think Marco
I wonder what.
Rubio was the one that caused all the outrage
I
with
thought that was one
Target.
of. I thought that he was one of ours.
See, I don't want to claim him.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Oh no, he's not. I lied. I'm sorry.
He's not. He's an
No,
asshole.
no.
Um,
Apologies.
thoughts and prayers.
Sorry, my
Anyway,
bad.
thanks to this horrible governor and his parental right laws, books with LGBTQ plus issues, social justice issues, and math books.
Math
Um,
books.
math books. Math books. Huh. People not knowing how to count money might be in their favor. Have been banned all around Florida. In fact, they're banning probably 1984, so you don't read that either. And then they'll set books on fire in the middle of a square and raid people's homes. If you read a book, you would know what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
um, also, I read briefly today that Target is taking down all the hashtag Take Pride signage and displays and merchandise down. It's available online, but it's to protect their employees because they receive threats from folks and saying that this shouldn't be there. And here's the thing. I don't like certain things in the grocery store. I don't like certain things in the mall. I don't like certain things in some places, but
I think
I
peas should be banned personally, and lima beans.
I see them and I go, you know what? I'm not a fan of that, so I don't buy it. If you're not a fan of it, don't buy it.
Right.
If I'm a
Apparently,
fan of
from
it,
from what I'm hearing, people had issues with the like tucking swimsuits and the tucking underwear that Target had available. Because Target has always had Pride shit. In
yeah.
fact, I have 3 Target Pride shirts, 2 of which were found at Goodwill.
So
Um,
the complaints I heard was too many rainbows everywhere. That was the first one. Then there was books on being non-binary, which some parents protested. So my husband listens to talk radio, and so I don't really get offended by what people. I just like to hear what. It's almost like I'm hearing what the other side thinks. And so some of the hosts were saying like Target was trying too hard, and I almost feel like. And one of the hosts went off and said, like there's just too much of everybody trying to get a piece of each pie. And so being inclusive to everyone can be overwhelming. And I'm like, so you're making excuses. Um,
right.
but at some point they were like, well, it's the parent's choice, right? So yes, it's the parent's choice. And if people who identify or who I mean, sometimes people are in the closet and want to, venture out. Because not all of us are out and about, but they want to wear a shirt or
Mhm.
two.
I
I
I think it's fucking ridiculous, and I think that I think people need to start getting on Target for caving.
hmm
I think it's horseshit.
and
Apparently, this seems to be a thing these days, though. So the LA Dodgers apparently told the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence that they weren't allowed to be a part of Pride Day. They weren't allowed to be on the field because they're like
first they're
nuns,
invited, and they
right?
were
And then it's
heavily invited, and
religious
yeah.
context. And they said, no, thank you. And then they got a lot of shit for it. They got a lot of pushback. And then they sent a letter and they were like, oh, you know what? We're just kidding. We kind of looked at this and you're welcome to come be on the field again. Yay.
So I'm kind of mixed
Meanwhile, I think it's
about
the
this.
Angels. Is it the Angels that before the Dodgers invited the sisters back, the Angels were like, "Hey, come do this thing. Come be a part of this thing that we're doing."
They're like, hey, we don't care. Uh, yeah. So I kind of see this two ways. Um, you invited me to your party. Then you said, you're not on the list. And then somebody gave you shit, including Senator Marco Rubio. Dumbass. Um, when all that everybody's boycott this, boycott that. And I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? We're boycotting beer, we're boycotting baseball, we're boycotting stores. So what I feel like is there's an uprising of people who do not want LGBTQ plus people to be part of the mainstream.
No, they're trying to push
And
us all back in the closet.
God, it's such a dusty place. I never clean in there. So like when y'all are talking about I don't vote and I don't say anything, I just follow. I don't watch the
I don't
news.
I don't do
But
politics.
it goes deeper than just a politician in a tie. It goes deeper. Um, uh, there's so many decisions made because you did or did not vote. So,
I will no longer tolerate anybody that says, "Oh, I didn't vote," or "I don't do politics," or whatever.
mhm,
I don't I no. You are 100% a part of the problem. You have
mhm.
perpetuated this by not voting, and by keeping silent, you've basically given the bigots like a pat on the back and say go right on ahead. So
Yeah.
the fact that trans rights are in jeopardy, the fact that um these bigots think it's fine to threaten people doing drag story hours, that they think it's fine to threaten people who shop at Target and buy rainbow shit. Like, the fact that they all think that this is fine and that they can get away with all of this is your fault. If
Mhm.
you did not vote, if you voted for the people who are actively looking to strip my rights away, this is your fault. Period.
Guidos,
100%.
they're also trying to claim what, Holly? That Target is offering tucking swimsuits in children's
Oh my
sizes.
god.
But it really doesn't matter. It's an extra
It's
small
really a
size.
matter if it's just extra small, right?
Yes. And so when people don't understand, they make up things. The Dodgers have a terrible history of homophobia.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be honest with you. Dodgers fans scare me. I remember going to a couple of uh D-backs Dodgers games here. I will
Hmm.
never go to another Dodgers game ever. Those fans are fucking terrifying. I don't know how many fights broke out in the stands. Like, it was bad. They're fucking violent and it's crazy. Like,
A little bit gangster. That's all I can tell you. Tommy Lasorda's history with his gay son and bullying a gay player, Glenn Burke, who dated him back in the day. Whoa. You thought your mother was a Republican until she voted for Obama. I mean, people have been switching back and forth for a couple of years now. So,
I mean, my dad is one of those people that if you listen to him talk, you would think he was a conservative, uh, but he's not. It's very strange. He's a little bit of a conundrum. Speaking of really shitty things that Republicans are doing, a Montana governor has signed a bill prohibiting drag entertainers to read to children in things like public schools and public libraries.
surprise. Look at my face. Surprise.
Again, if you didn't vote or if you voted for these people, this is your fault. I'm not.
Hmm.
I will accept no excuses at this point. There is literally nothing that you can tell me that will explain this away or make any of this shit okay.
What was weird is all of this has happened around like the International Day of like, um, what is it? Uh, International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia,
Right.
and all the phobias against our community. Let's see. Governor Glenn, I can't say that.
Gianforte. So Governor Glenn Gianforte, who before he ran for office ran a creationism museum where he bought dinosaur bones to prove the Earth is only 6,000 years old. I thought the Earth was only what is it? It's 2,023 years old.
Yeah, we've only been here for a short time.
We just had our birthday on January 1st.
We just got here. How can it be over already? We're not killing the earth. We
I
love
just,
smart cars, but
I,
diesel will last forever.
There's enough dinosaur bones creating oil. Like, they were big motherfuckers, right? Dinosaurs were big. So as their
Oh,
like
yeah.
bones and
Were
shit are like
dinosaurs even real? We
decomposing.
just got here, so how did
Well,
that
I mean,
happen?
they power my car, but like they're big enough. So like, why do we need renewable
Wow.
energy? Like, one dinosaur, I feel could probably like power my car
Wow.
for the rest of
Wow.
my life.
I don't think so.
But they're really big. Like, can you
And I
imagine?
don't
Like, that's a lot of oil.
and there's not a lot of pollution in the air. I can still see the mountains.
I'm not chewing my air yet, so it's not that bad.
I mean, when I start seeing the rubber tires going through the air, then I will be concerned.
It's
So,
like orange juice, right? Like, if you're not like,
if you don't
it's
taste the
gotta
pulp, is it really
you gotta
orange
be you
juice?
gotta chew your orange juice. That's how you know that you've got enough pulp in there.
Oh.
That's how you know that the air is really bad.
Mm.
I I don't know. I don't fucking lost.
Let's
Uh,
bring it back to life. I mean, science
it's
isn't
only five
real.
dollars a gallon here. As soon as you get out of Phoenix, it's not $5 a gallon anymore. Like it's ridiculous.
Uh, it's $4.89 over here.
Well, I mean, out of like Phoenix and its suburbs, like get
Okay.
down to Tucson, it's cheaper. Get out of Arizona, and it's like $1.50 cheaper.
Oh shit! I'm
So
leaving.
yeah, it's
Um,
like I don't know.
on that
I am
note,
no
the Earth
longer.
is going to shit, and we thank you guys for joining us for um, letting us tell you that the Earth is falling to shit around you, and hope that we can be that positive voice that helps you hang on just for a little longer as the Earth falls to shit.
I mean, it's been falling to shit for a while, so this is nothing new. But this like uptick in all this like LGBTQ plus hate, that's a little bit new. Like the fact that it's so vocal and so out there.
What I felt like it
And
was trying to like go away, and now I feel like the hate groups have gotten the keys to the car.
yeah.
Um, and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought we were trying to be happy people. This
And
is not happy
honestly,
people.
I'm not really doing the whole like love is love bullshit these days because love is that's right up there with, for me, that feels like all lives matter. And
It's up there
that's
with
like
thoughts and prayers.
right. Like I really don't the whole I just the whole I don't know. It feels empty.
You're not
Or
feeling
when it's
warm
like
and
love
fuzzy these
wins.
days.
No, love doesn't fucking win. Love is not fucking winning. I don't know if y'all see that. But right now, it is not winning. So
What are you
I just
talking about? When I walk out the front
mm,
door and people dodge me, and when I get in
right.
elevators and people look me up and down and hold their
Like
purse
the only
close.
fact that I can still exist in Arizona right now is the fact that our governor has literally said that she will veto anything that comes across her desk that is
And
like
she has.
bullshit.
And
She
she
has.
has.
Absolutely. And like I don't buy the love wins. I don't want the love is love. I don't want that shit. I At this point I'm like we need to start.
So, for the entertainers that don't pay attention to politics, we are lucky that we get to still work in bars.
Mm,
That's all I can tell you. Because the governor's looking out.
like it's
For those that say, "Oh, I don't vote," well, you could lose your job because there's some people that depend on drag as a job. I mean, like full time. I mean, so yeah.
right.
Uh, mm,
And Guido says
uh,
the meme that I'm seeing that I agree with: less love is love, and more trans lives are in danger. Please, absolutely. Like I don't I'm not doing the sugarcoaty bullshit anymore. I can't. I it I can't do love wins. I can't do love is love. I can't do the thoughts and prayers version of allyship.
well,
And
and
it
Pride Month is going to be a challenge for me because I
oh
feel like
god.
instead of these, here's our merch, I would love to see like, here's how we're helping your community.
Right. Merch is great. Like everybody loves buying, rainbow shit, like whatever. But
But I buy that all the time.
also,
So give me something else.
right,
Figure out how you can get LGBTQ who are unhoused
right.
off the streets
Maybe
or off other
donate
people's
to,
couches.
candidates that are actively fighting against.
I
Uh,
don't. I don't
ooh,
know.
ooh.
If somebody throws one, will I be responsible?
Create our own like Stonewall. That'd be fantastic. We'll just
Will
put
I
our
be
logo on bricks.
responsible? Will I be responsible for these?
No, because they're for novelty use only.
Mm,
We put a sticker on the bottom that says novelty use only.
mm. I see that going the wrong way, and I barely make any money as it is. Uh,
Speaking of making money, what gigs do we have coming up?
let's see. Oh, I didn't update this. On Friday, I'm doing a live stream with Vanessa Marie Books on the podcast Writing Diversely.
Hmm.
And we met her at the Equality Arizona podcast recording? You don't remember. Wonderful. I'll remind you later.
How long ago was that?
Like 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay, no, I don't remember any. No.
Okay.
I kept thinking like yesterday was Wednesday, and so like you can't.
Oh, you were
No,
here since yesterday?
yeah, I've just been sitting here. I'm like, why is everybody late?
Oh my god. I'm so sorry for you. And then June 2nd,
Which
we'll
is
be
coming
at
up real
Phoenix.
quick. I don't want to talk about how quick.
We'll be at Phoenix Fan Fusion. And Freddy
There,
will be producing all kinds of
all
things.
sorts of things. So there's 2 drag story hours happening at Fan
Yes.
Fusion, which I'm super excited for. The first one is Friday at noon, and that's going to be like a fairy tale fantasy themed one. I'll be dressed as Captain Hook and doing that
Oh,
one.
wow.
That has far less accessories than what I'm doing on Sunday, let me tell you. And my partner is going to be one of the volunteers helping out, and she's going to be dressed as Smee, so that'll be fun.
Dressed as you?
Smee, Hook's little
Oh, I
crony.
thought you said dressed as me. I was like,
No,
oh, goodness.
Smee.
Oh, okay.
That would be funny, though.
Do
Oh,
you write that down?
my.
Write that
Oh, my
down.
God. And then Saturday at noon is the other drag story hour,
Mm-hmm.
and that one is going to be sci-fi
I
themed.
must have missed the sign up for that one.
I'll be Andorian doing that one.
Is that one going to take you longer? Because of the prosthetic?
To get ready?
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm going to be Andorian all day, so I'll just going to
Okay.
go in the morning, and that's like going to get ready in the morning, and that's, you know. And then, so I mentioned that it looks like Michael's exploded all over our house right now. And that's primarily for all the accessories that we're making for what we're doing on Sunday, which is a steampunk Mario Brothers. I'm being Luigi and D is
Oh, I
Mario.
can't wait to see this.
And we've got so many things.
I love the effort, and I love that D is doing things ahead of time. That is a compliment, not an insult.
And then don't forget on Friday night, this is this is true. I don't think she can get the disappointing disappointed.
We can
dad
work
look
on
on
it. We can work on it.
her.
I've seen it for years. We can work on it.
But Friday night at Phoenix Fan Fusion, you don't want to fucking miss it. You want to make sure that you're there because we've got the drag show happening, and then immediately after the drag show, we've got burlesque. The Wish Foundation.
What you ordered and what you got.
Right. But like I know that both shows are going to be absolutely fucking amazing. I'm so excited about a lot of the numbers that are coming for the drag show. And then I get
Do
to
we
MC
still have VIP seating left?
There's still some left. Guido posted the link higher up in the chat. Guido, can you post the link again, please? Just so that folks can have it. And then I'm emceeing the burlesque show, and I know what's coming in the burlesque show, and I'm so excited about some of these numbers. Some of them are like, oh my god, they're so fucking good. So stick around on Friday. Like, take some time, like go and eat or something, get comfy, and then, you know, come back for the drag show and the burlesque show because they're going to be a lot of fun for sure.
18 and over for the burlesque.
They're both actually 18 and over.
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Yeah, so both the drag show and the burlesque are 18 and over this year.
Oh.
Just FYI.
Oh.
So yeah.
So many things I could have done. Anyway, I think that was one of the things that made me like overthink it, because I was like, oh, I already have problems with people thinking I'm a groomer. So again, I'm in my head. June 10th. I don't even know what I'm wearing for Fan Fusion, but I know what I'm wearing for our numbers. But
good. At least you know that much.
June 10th, we will be at Gracie's for sex trivia night, And then on June 17th, I will be at Stacy's for Opulence. I'm trying to remember things. Hold on.
And then June 28th, you are at the Drink Me Tea Room for bingo.
Yeah. It's
And
just going to be
then,
a drag bingo extravaganza here in a couple
hey,
weeks.
then July 14th, I would love to have done this with you, but
You
I'm
left me
still probably
hanging.
going to be driving back from Michigan.
You can stop in for a drink.
Lord.
And for those that keep asking me, so there's limited space at Gracie's. So what I think is going to happen is that closer to the date, they'll release the invite via Eventbrite. I didn't mean to rhyme there, but yeah, I think that they will release the Evite on Eventbrite to let you buy tickets, and there's only 40 spots available. And
So keep an eye out for that. So you
there's
can.
already like 5 messages in my inbox about how can I buy tickets. So
Yeah.
it's
Tell them
gonna
to be
be like
patient.
one of those things that's like, here's the link. Hope you survive.
But don't forget, we are gonna have some things coming up that we're gonna do for like extras and stuff for the Patreon over the summer. I have a couple of
I don't know
ideas. I have to contact a
when.
couple people and see what we can come up with. So if you're not already, please go and support us on Patreon. We're gonna put together some fun stuff and bigger and better
It will help you
things
miss us
next
less in the
season,
summer.
or maybe it'll make you miss us more. But
Oh,
that's okay. Um,
yikes.
but I can't believe that like we've been doing this now for definitely over 10 years because we are done with season 11.
Yes. So I am always sad, but I'm always a little bit relieved. I work 10-hour days in the summer. So this is kind of like a quick hurry when I come in here. Um, and so that takes a little bit off. And then I never know what the climate is like with when we come home. So that is the thing. But I also look forward to new ideas, and um, I hope we last at least 11 seasons.
She's talking about us.
Oh, I was like, whoa. You're just cutting us at the end. What? But yeah, I am thankful for everybody that joins from not just in Arizona, across the country and sometimes across the pond. So I am forever grateful that even when I started drag, I didn't think that people would hear my name outside of Phoenix or at all. So um, this is always a pleasure, and we look forward to being back for the 11th season. I can't
12th
believe
season. This was
12.
season 11.
12. I'm thinking year year 11.
Year 11. Yes, year 11, 12th season.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I'm getting there. I'll fuck it up next season too for you. But thank you for watching live. Thank you for watching on the replay. Thanks to those that watch it on different days and then tell me about it
And
and
thank you to
ask
the
me
people that have
questions.
continued to support us
Yeah.
uh, throughout the 10 years that we've been doing this, because if it weren't for
Hmm.
our regulars and then our regulars who bring new people in, and for everybody that does this, we wouldn't keep doing this. So thank you. We appreciate you so much.
Um, and I will see you later. We will see you later for your I don't know when we're coming back, but we'll decide
It
that soon.
it's
And then
probably fall-ish. Think of it like a school schedule almost.
yeah, well, a traditional school schedule.
Well, yeah, that's it. So.
Some people are on that block schedule. I remember having you guys live with me in the club years ago. I mean, we could do that, but we not so young anymore.
Mm,
And so that might not
very
go over
late.
so well. And
Very,
it's
very
loud.
late.
And it's loud.
It's very, yeah. It's
Ugh.
nuts.
Mm. Anyway, but yes, thank you, 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 thank you. And we will see you for your next Wednesday night conversation in the fall. If you have any show ideas, I love this part. Send them to us. If you have any photo shoot ideas, send them to us.
Oh yes, photo
Uh,
shoot themes would be great. Anything like that. If y'all have ideas, send them our way, please.
yes, thank you. And to you and to all, a good night.
Good
We'll
night.
see you soon.